So the official trailer for the Wonder Woman movie was released recently, and as one would expect from a DC trailer, there's a lot of excitement and trepidation as every movie in the DCU so far has been critical failures. If Suicide Squad taught anyone anything, it's that a good trailer does not make a good movie, so it is understandable if people are a bit cautious about DC's next outing. The DCU's poor performance aren't the only things going against Wonder Woman. Recently, Wonder Woman has been taking a beating in the public sphere since she has been the United Nations honorary ambassador for the empowerment of women and girls. I'm not going to get into the details of the controversy, as most of it is utterly stupid, but there are some points that the controversy raises that can only be addressed or put to death by the upcoming Wonder Woman movie. I will admit that I have not watched any of the previous DCU movies, but honestly I have no desire to. As much as I love the DC characters, why would I want to waste my time with disappointing movies? But to be honest, I only hope for the best for the Wonder Woman movie because, first of all, we need there to be a good DCU movie. And secondly, and more importantly, the world needs to be reminded why Wonder Woman is such a great character. And with what I have seen from the Comic-Con trailer and the official trailer that just dropped, I am optimistic that this movie might just accomplish what it needs to do. The official trailer starts with Diana in the present looking at a picture that was taken with her comrades during World War I. We are then shown Chris Pine's character, Steve Trevor, crashing his plane into the ocean where Diana rescues him. It is then that we see that whoever shot down Steve Trevor pursues him to the island of the Amazons, and it is here that it appears Diana witnesses warfare for the first time, as she looks completely shocked as one of the Amazons is killed. It is also here that Steve persuades at least Diana to fight in the war. Now, whether this takes place before or after the fight on the beach with the Germans or whatever central power that shot down Steve, I do not know. But it looks as though Diana has to fight against the prejudice of the Amazons in order to do what she thinks is right. And as Diana says in the trailer, she cannot stand by and do nothing while innocents are being killed. It is here that we get a first glimpse of the heroic character of Wonder Woman, the reason that she is admired by so many girls and women, and boys and men as well. I'll admit that I've never quite understood the costume of Wonder Woman. I feel it is almost completely lacking in defensive capabilities, and I completely understand why some balk at her outfit. The outfit ultimately doesn't make sense, but the outfit is not what is really important. The outfit doesn't define Wonder Woman's character. It doesn't define who she really is. Her values and actions are what define her. And to be honest, with everything that I've seen so far in the two trailers, I haven't seen anything that touches on the sexuality of Wonder Woman, except for one thing. Which brings me to the next point about the trailer. So far, it feels that the movie has a decent understanding of the aesthetics of the World War I era, which I believe will be very important to the movie's success. And while I don't expect Wonder Woman to be completely faithful to the era, it is a movie about an immortal being who fought in World War I with a sword, shield, and lasso after all, but getting the World War I setting correct is critical to the believability of the movie, and ultimately, World War I is the reason, after all, Diana got off her island and decided to fight. So this movie really has to get that right. And at least as it pertains to women during the World War I time period, the movie seems very accurate, as Steve has to lie and say that Diana is secretly a secretary when all the military brass is like, "What is a woman doing here? Doesn't she know war is not a woman's business?" We also get a very humorous scene at the end of the trailer as Diana tries on the latest fashion in England and wonders, how can a woman possibly fight in this? We get a wonderful answer from Lucy Davis's character, Etta Candy, who points out that at this time in history, women aren't given the opportunity to fight for what they believe in, at least not in all the ways that men are allowed to. It is in moments like these that the movie can remind the world what Wonder Woman stands for: the empowerment of girls and women. It's not about the costume or her, quote, unrealistic proportions or the fact that she is fair-skinned. It is about what she stands for: virtue, justice, doing what is right. That is what defines her, not the flesh and fabric that so many people seem to be distracted by. A side note, as it stands right now, Etta Candy is my favorite character, and I sincerely hope that the movie delivers on the trailer's promise. I'm also hoping that Etta Candy is a good sign of things to come with Wonder Woman's secondary characters, as well as a healthy dash of humor that has been lacking in the DCU's outing so far, with the possible exception of Suicide Squad, but as we all know, no amount of humor can save a mess of a script, which is a lesson I hope that the people working on Wonder Woman have learned. Although, to be honest, my hype for the movie dipped some when I found out Zack Snyder was working on the story. Zack Snyder is the worst thing that has happened to the DCU. He is a massively overrated director who has been riding on the coattails of his early successes. Hopefully, the screenwriters can turn Zack Snyder's continual mess making into something that Snyder hasn't done so far, making an actually good movie. Going back to the World War I side of things, the movie seems to have a decent grasp of the time period of World War I, with the exception of painting the Germans as the bad guys. It's a popular trope that the Germans were the big bad villains who wanted to take over everything, when in reality the reasons for World War I were much more complicated. Nowadays, the Germans who fought in World War I are lumped into the same group with the Nazis, when nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, it was the Allies feeling that the war was the Germans' fault when peace talks came about, that they enacted egregious war reparations that collapsed the German economy, shamed the German people, and allowed a man like Adolf Hitler to seize power, which gave us World War II. Thank you, Allies, and the Treaty of Versailles. It would be interesting if the movie has a slight take on this, but I sincerely doubt it will, as it is so much easier to just make the Germans the bad guys. At least, though, give the bad guys in this movie a real reason for fighting, as opposed to just want to rule the world and be evil. Please, Warner Brothers, do this. There also looks like there may be some romantic tension as we see Steve talking to what appears to be another woman, but we will just have to wait and see how all of that plays out. All in all, I am cautiously optimistic for the Wonder Woman movie. If they get a decent enough script and get the World War I aesthetic right, Wonder Woman has the potential to be a pretty good movie about the most iconic female superhero. I will admit that I am excited to see another World War I era movie, as this long neglected period of history is finally starting to be brought into the social consciousness. Here's to hoping that Wonder Woman can be the DC movie so many have been waiting for since The Dark Knight Rises, which was before the launch of the DCU, by the way, and had nothing to do with the Zack I Have Crap storyline Snyder. Coincidence? I think not. Go ahead and leave me your thoughts and feelings about the Wonder Woman trailer and this video in the comment section below. I hope you are excited about this film and how Wonder Woman will be portrayed on the silver screen. Thank you for watching. This is the Outcast Writer signing off, and remember, what we create matters.